Life is really empty.
Hey everyone, what's up? It's your main man, Josh Nichols from Drake and Josh.
What's a game sphere?
Only the most sophisticated gaming experience ever created by humans, and it's spherical. Spherical!
It's been a while since I've done a bully video, so I decided to go back to my roots and do one again, since I've actually wanted to for a while. As I've expressed in a few of my other videos, namely my Johnny Klebitz and Grand Theft Auto 5 videos, I believe characters are the lifeblood of a story. They are the foundation of a well-written movie, TV show, or video game. A badly handled character, depending on how much of a role they have in the story of this piece of media, can have devastating effects on the quality of it. So I thought, why not take this belief I hold and apply it to Rockstar's storytelling and writing in Bully. So today, I'm going to be starting a new series called Bully Character Analysis. Basically, how this series is going to work is that we're going to look at characters in Bully and break down their personalities, physical traits, and what Rockstar handled well about their character arcs and what they didn't. On this episode of Bully Character Analysis, we're going to be looking at Edgar Munsen, the townies leader, and the mysterious antagonist of Chapter 5. Edgar seems to be one of the strongest characters in the game. He was able to tear an industrial pipe off the wall of a power plant, and was also able to sustain multiple hits from another industrial pipe, and a metal wall covering until he was eventually beaten. And even then, he wasn't even knocked out. He also managed to beat Davis, Trent, and Tom without much problem. He seems to be a real powerhouse. He also seems to have a very good heart, because in the end, he uses his strength and power for good in order to help Jimmy stop the riots caused by Gary. Unlike a lot of the other clique leaders, he is surprisingly calm and collected in bad situations like this. In the whole game, he doesn't really show anger or irritation much at all. He never really loses his cool, unlike most of the other clique leaders. This suggests that Edgar is actually a very level-headed and reasonable individual, unlike someone like Darby or Russell. However, he also seems to be very gullible and easily manipulatable, somewhat similar to Johnny. Gary was able to manipulate Edgar into doing his dirty work really easily. All he had to do was use his hatred for the school as reasoning for pulling the pranks that made the cliques not trust Jimmy anymore. When you think about it, Jimmy was able to prove to Edgar that Gary was evil and gain his trust pretty goddamn easily. All Jimmy had to do was tell Edgar Gary was evil and that he screwed him over as well.
Aw, man. I hate that school. My parents couldn't afford to send me there, and now I'm stuck in this dump of a town. Gary said we make them all pay.
Wait a second. Gary? That backstabbing, two-faced sociopath put you up to this? I bet he said the two of you would take over the school or some crap.
Hey, how'd you know?
Because he told me the same garbage.
How did Edgar know Jimmy wasn't just tricking him like Gary was? Why couldn't Jimmy just do what Gary did and lie to him? He's also a very mysterious and remote character. We don't know much about him aside from the fact that his parents couldn't afford to send him to Bullworth, and he was very jealous of the school kids who got to go. He's so mysterious that he wasn't even introduced until the penultimate mission of the game, busting in. It's unknown how Jimmy even learned of his existence in the first place. Jimmy referred to him directly by name even though he hadn't interacted with him in the first place.
I gotta talk to that Edgar kid.
I don't think he wants to talk to you.
This is the main flaw with Edgar's character. Edgar's story arc, including his role as an antagonist, just isn't very good, because Rockstar took too long to introduce him, and overall didn't take enough risks. Nothing about his character much stands out. Rockstar should have introduced him earlier in Chapter 5, or even in Chapter 4, in order to have him have more of an impact as an antagonist. By saving who was behind the pranks on the Bulwer students until the very end of the game, it makes the plot of Chapter 5 feel much more rushed and weak. Especially after we realize Edgar didn't really even do anything except follow Gary's orders. Overall, Edgar is an interesting character, who was handled well in some aspects but not in others. He's a spiteful and gullible yet surprisingly calm and collected person with a good heart, and is also very strong. But unfortunately, Rockstar just didn't hit the mark well enough for him to be a truly impactful antagonist and character.